Hi, welcome to another Health Hints with me, Heather. Today I want to talk about immunity, staying well during the winter. It's never fun to be sick, to miss work, to have to take care of kids when you're sick. It's miserable. So I have a few really good tips to help you stay healthy as we head into the fall and winter months. This is the time of year to start building up your immunity so that when all those viruses do hit and you're indoors all the time around all those germs, your immunity can fight it off. I'm going to do another post another day about kids' health and keeping your kids healthy so they're not home from school every 48 hours all winter long, because I know that that is not fun for anybody. So to start with, there are two important parts to immunity that you can just keep up with all day, every day. They are eating well and getting some moderate exercise. So those are just things to fit into your lifestyle, but they're really important for immunity. So you don't have to be doing spinning classes and running marathons, but just some walking a few times a week, some sort of brisk walking or some yoga or some jogging, whatever you like to do. It actually really helps to boost your immunity, to get some form of exercise, and then eating well. A lot of sugar in your diet, those kind of things, that's really going to harm your immunity. So just the basic common sense things. Eat well, get exercise, get some rest. In terms of dietary tips, there are some things that will help you to keep your digestion good, which helps keep your immunity good. In Chinese medicine, you should always cook your food a little bit. So in America, we think salad is the healthiest thing you can eat, and let's pile some raw broccoli on there and some beans, and that is not good for your spleen qi or your digestive qi, which is where a lot of your immunity comes from in Chinese medicine. It's too hard on the system. So you'll notice if you go out to Chinese food, you're never getting anything uncooked. You should steam everything at least for a few minutes. If not cooking it more, you should at least steam it for a few minutes. So don't eat a lot of cold foods, especially as the weather gets colder. Cold foods are uncooked raw foods. Cold foods include tofu, yogurt, and dairy products. You can eat everything in moderation. In my book, you can. But just don't eat a lot of it. Definitely don't have a lot of iced drinks. You'll never catch a traditional Chinese person anyway drinking icy drinks. You just drink your water, or you drink at room temperature or warm, and that's easier on the body and easier on the digestion, which helps with immunity. So cook your food, cook with warming herbs this time of year, unless you're a very hot type personality. That's kind of a whole other discussion, but if you tend to have high blood pressure and headaches and you're hot all the time, you're hot at night, then the warming foods, you can kind of cut that out. You can cook your food, but you might not want to make it so spicy. But for most of us, the digestion likes fire in Chinese medicine. So you can cook with ginger and cinnamon or salsa, curry, pepper, anything that seems hot probably is hot. And that's going to help keep you healthy. There are some formulas that are great. The number one formula is called Jade Screen Powder, and that's a general immunity booster. So that's for someone who just seems to always get the cold that's going around town, or is just kind of run down a lot. It's also good for allergies, which are an immunity issue ultimately too. Jade Screen Powder. You can also take some herbs I've mentioned previously, Huang Qi or astragalus, that's a great immunity booster, and also ginseng. The main two I would go with are the Jade Screen Powder formula and Huang Qi. And the formulas, as I've said before, you can find them online, you can find them at larger health food stores, or you can find them on my website. The thing with Chinese herbs for immunity is you don't want to take them if you're already sick. In Chinese medicine, if you're already sick and you take these tonifying herbs, they're going to tonify anything in your body, including your sickness. So your little cold might turn into bronchitis if you're taking really powerful tonifying herbs when you already have germs and illness in your body. So wait till you're well, and then you can start them. That's why this is a good time of year to start building your immunity, so that when you need it, it's there for you. Another great tip is keep your neck covered. So in Chinese medicine, colds enter the body through the back of the neck, through this meridian here. They are brought in by wind. That's the carrier of how you get sick for things like colds and flus. So as soon as the weather starts to turn and gets chillier, wear a scarf around your neck. Keep this part of your body covered so that you're not getting cold blasts of air on the back of your neck and the back of your head. Then I'm going to tell you lastly about a few really great points for staying healthy and also for getting rid of the early signs of a cold. So in terms of staying healthy, there is a great point, Stomach 36. It's Zusan Li, which I have mentioned before. And at the end of this, I'll give you visuals on how to find all these different points. Zusan Li is located just below the knee, and that has been proven to boost your white blood cell count. So that's definitely going to boost your immune response. You can also press on stomach 6, which is also down on your lower leg. I'm going to show you that in a minute, because that's really good for boosting your digestion, which, as I've said, is where your immunity is kind of coming from in Chinese medicine. If you're already feeling kind of under the weather, there are some great points for getting rid of things quickly before they get any worse. This point, which I've mentioned before, Hegu, Li4, it's right there on your hand. It's on the top of that kind of fleshy mound right there. Hegu is a good one. You can give that a really good squeeze. You can also find a point called lung 7, which is right over this bony ridge of your wrist here on the thumb side. You go up, and as you go over this ridge right there, halfway between the front and the back of the arm, it's right there. That's lung 7. That's if you're just in the early stages of a cold, you're not feeling well, you have a little bit of a cough, you can press that. And then there's a point on the back of the head. It's right under the occiput. It's called gallbladder 20, GB20, and you'll feel there's sort of right around here, you will feel there's kind of a depression, and it's right in there, and you can really press on that, and that helps to expel when you've already caught a little bug. That will help to get rid of it. And then there's another great trick, and it's called gua sha, which is kind of just a rubbing technique, and you can use anything. I mean, I have some beautiful things I got in China made of jade, but you can use, in school we used to use the ceramic Chinese soup spoons that you can get for $1 in any kind of Chinese store in New York, or I don't know where you are, but really you can use anything that's smooth. And you put a little bit of oil on your neck. Really, you should have someone else do this for you, I guess. Put a little bit of oil so that it moves smoothly, and you just take the smooth object, it can be the back of a comb, it can really be anything, and you rub it down the back of your neck, and that will help to expel any kind of early cold or early flu. And you'll notice that you get red sort of marks left here if you are sick. If you're not sick, you won't, so it's really interesting. If you are sick, you'll get sort of red strips down the back. They'll go away in a couple of days, but that lets you know that it's working and it's sort of expelling whatever's in there. So that's the Health Hints with Heather for today. Thank you for joining me, and check back tomorrow for another Health Hint. Thanks. You locate stomach 36. You put your 4 fingers together, and you start at the soft part of the knee. You lay the fingers down, and at the bottom of those fingers, right off the shin bone, that's stomach 36. You locate spleen 6. You start on the inner ankle. You're going to take your 4 fingers and put them together and lay them starting on that ankle bone. And right at the top of where those fingers come together, right there, that is spleen 6, right off the edge of the shin bone on the inside of the leg. Spleen 6.